Hey there, mommy friends. Welcome to number 2 podcast for mental beauty. Right after this quick message, I'm gonna give you some real talk about some real situations. Okay, mommy friends. I know that I said that this week would be centered more towards the kids, but I have to be 100% honest with you. I didn't feel real good about the way I did my last podcast. It did not sit right with me whatsoever, and it felt not quite right. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna wing it today. I hope y'all like that. But mainly my topic is struggling with a kid who's struggling. I do have a post about this on my blog. It is really old. My daughter is still struggling a little bit with this, but it's a little different now. In some cases, she's gotten better, and in some cases, not so much. So we're going to keep trucking on how that goes. I just wanted to make sure that I stayed true to who I really was. So I promised y'all the real, and I'm going to give y'all the real talk, mother to mother, parent to parent, mental health issue to mental health issue, or whatever we got going on that's the same. I really, really am so glad to have all my new mommy friends joining me, all the support. I really appreciate it. And unfortunately, we got to take another small break. But after this break, we're going to get straight into the fray. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Alright, everybody. I'm so glad to be back with everyone. Mwah. Hi to all my mommy friends. Let me tell y'all, I have had the most interesting week. I cannot lie. But I'm so happy to be here talking about it with all of you. So, let's get started. Today has been pretty good. It's pretty early in the morning right now. If you hear stuff in the background, I have a little one that is still home. Teacher work day for preschool, so TV running. Bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. But let's get started. So, my oldest daughter is 7, as I said in the last podcast. And she is wonderfully, beautifully tragic. It is like pulling teeth when it comes to homework. And if any of you guys know any tips or tricks, I'm here for it. But right now, what we are focusing on, it seems that a lot of her struggles in school stem from we've had a lot of changes. We moved. Her dad has been actually around more often and then kind of had to take a step back. And my fiance moved in, and we don't live with my mother full time anymore. As a lot of you that have read my blog know, I co-parent with my mother because she was the only one who was with me for a good chunk of my kids' lives. And so I co-parent with my mother just like anybody else would co-parent with a significant other or however. Unfortunately for me, my kids' fathers were not prominent for a good amount of time. Moving on. Now, my oldest daughter, I had a parent-teacher conference with her teachers, of course, and it has been not okay, to say the least. She has been not focusing in class, and so we've been doing little things at home to try and motivate her to do better. And it seems to be working little bit by little bit, but that is not what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. I told you guys I would be giving you the real, and I am giving you guys the real. So my youngest daughter is 5, and she's in preschool, and she doesn't get homework. So she loves her big sister. She wants to play and everything. And while she's trying to play, my oldest daughter wants to play with her, not focusing, trying to figure out things for the youngest one to do that's just about as educational, so that I can keep her occupied while I am fighting tooth and nail with the 7-year-old to try and do her homework. She's in the 1st grade, and it is a journey, y'all. It's a journey. It has been a journey. We just gonna leave it at a journey for this podcast. My kid's father, my kids have 2 fathers, like I said in the last podcast, but her father is all the way in another state, and it's not super close. Like, it's not a hop and a skip away. So with that being said, I try to get him involved as much as possible because he's really good at the math piece. I'm good at the language arts piece. And language arts, I can help her with all day. Maybe not all day, but a little bit easier than I can with the math part. But he has to FaceTime. Now, my fiance is also decently good at math. Unfortunately, by the time she comes home from school and settles in and all of that stuff, he's still at work. So it's still up to me to make sure that she's doing the homework at homework time. And it's a fight. We are fighting, basically. She's sassy, y'all. She's sassy. There's nothing else I can tell y'all about her, but she is absolutely, positively sassy. I don't know where she gets it from. But, truth be told, I love her little sassiness. Except for when it's time to do that dang on homework. And then I get really overwhelmed due to my mental health. I get really overwhelmed with lots of noise and lots of instruction, and my mother sometimes stays here, and she's needs me. She needs me to do things, get up, grab things. My 5-year-old needs me to get up and grab things, and in the midst of all of this, my fiance gets off work and comes in, and he's that kind of man, puts his stuff down. Hey babe, give me a glass of water. can you grab me a snack real quick? Let me get a minute. He gets a minute before he jumps into dad mode. And I am helping him. I'm helping my daughter. I'm helping my mom. I'm helping my other daughter. I am going through it. And I get super just overwhelmed with everything. It is beyond overwhelming, all that I have to go through on a daily basis with my daughter and homework. And then her poor little self, she can't seem to figure out what's going on. She also likes to pretend like she doesn't know something when she does, and I know she knows it because I've seen her know it multiple times before, and then she doesn't want to do it, so now she doesn't know anything. But then when she doesn't actually know something, she struggles, and she's like, "Mommy, I need your help. Mommy, I need your help. Mommy, I need your help." And she gets so frustrated. "I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm so stupid." She gets into that whole mode, you guys. I do not know what it is. She gets into the whole mode, breakdown, crying, full-blown tears, whole 9 yards. And she is frustrated. And she is just done. And I don't know how many. I know that there are moms out there. There are plenty of them out there that have dealt with a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 2-year-old that is just done with everything. And when she gets done, I have to make her still do what the situation is. And so I'm frustrated, overwhelmed, and just all of the noise and everything is getting to me. And she is done and overwhelmed because I'm getting frustrated and overwhelmed with her because she just it's not clicking, Steven. And I'm really not doing all that great because I don't fully understand how to help her in the first place. And it's just me and her. And I haven't spoke on this yet, but and I will say more in another podcast, but my oldest daughter is me reincarnated while I'm still alive. She gets just about as overwhelmed with the same amount of stuff as I do, and all that noise and everything, and there's no quiet place in my house. It's just not, especially after my fiance comes home. There is no quiet place in this whole house. He comes home and wants to jump and play, and no matter how many times I say, "You can't do that at this time," he can't. And then he comes to try and help, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it just turns into him and her in the arguing match. So that's that piece. And this first part is titled homework, because that homework part, when she is struggling, is me and her struggling together makes things just escalate. So when we return from this commercial break, I will tell you guys some of the tips that have worked. I will be honest with you, for me personally, they haven't always worked, but I'm gonna tell you guys so far what works. Okay, and we're back. Hey, mommy friends. Okay, so I'm so super glad that all of that is out of the way so that we can get into what works for me. I know that this won't work for everybody. I'm not going to say that for sure, because that's impossible to say like, oh, all of this is gonna work for everybody. That's kind of the whole reason I made the podcast in the first place. But honestly, you guys, I had to take a few days before finishing this. Like, this is a few days later because I actually like had to do some new stuff with my daughter. So